Happy Father's Day, gentlemen. This video is for Danny. Before I start working out, I promised her that I would do a TSL covered call. Now, she has TSLL, sorry, it's TSLL, is at 1265. I did this last night, okay? Let me see, our cost basis is 1213. 1,445 shares, a value of 18,279. All right, so I'm gonna go through a couple different options, right? So she has the shares, which is great. We can write 14 contracts. We are going to look at 6 weeks out. 52 divided by 6 is roughly 8. It's 8.66. Okay, so theoretically, give some vacation time. You could run this strategy roughly 8 times. Okay. We are looking at, for the best option, as high as 132.49% return on her money within 6 weeks. That's wild. So let's get into it. All right, so here's the current options for TSLL. Now, again, when I took the notes, I did it the night beforehand, so the numbers have slightly changed. Okay, but we're going to sell to open. Let's look at some expiration dates, because this is gonna change. And we can play around with the expiration dates and the numbers. The only thing you guys have to keep in mind is that you want to be above your cost basis. So always keep that in the back of your head. So we're looking at July 18th. It's roughly, 40 days or so. I don't even know what today is. It's Father's Day. We're going to put in 4 contracts. Now we get to play with the numbers. And the numbers are based on what the other side of this equation, right, is someone buying the call option. And that's how this kind of gets filtered out. So let's see, 1450. Let's play with the numbers. That's a pretty sweet premium, 2366. Let's see how high we can get it. And I'm just touching I'm looking at the midpoint. $1.96, 27.44. I think that's going to be our sweet spot. Let's go slightly more out of the money. Nope, see, it starts to fall. Right, so call options, the buyers are pricing in that it's gonna go up to this number, and they're willing to pay for that amount of exposure, and it's based on the order flow. That's why the premiums are so high. 27.44. That's our sweet spot, and this is probably because earnings are going to come out around this time, so I think we're pricing that in. All right, don't mind my receipts because I have to do a bunch of accounting for work and record everything. All right, so we did get a new series of markers. I just had to clean my whiteboard. Now, first thing I want to tell you guys, don't forget, premiums are the same as dividends. They're exactly the same. The difference is that if you're in a taxable margin account, we can get return of capital here. And you can do this if you guys decide to go through the process and open a business in the Cayman Islands, which is you don't pay corporate income tax. So this would be return of capital if you guys were to actually go through the motions and open up an LLC in the Cayman Islands. Then your premiums could be dividends as return of capital. But if you just want to collect premium and you want the return of capital, you could do this in your Roth IRA, and then you have tax-free premiums, essentially. You guys could do these covered calls in a Roth IRA, and the profit would be tax-free because it's in a Roth. Okay? All right, so let's go over the notes. So we have TSLL at a cost basis of $12.65, 14.45 shares. So if these get called away, we're still going to have 45 shares to play with, okay? But that means we have 14 contracts, right? Because it's in multiples of 100. And as you guys just saw, all right, if you guys remember, our cost basis is this, okay? This is what we have invested. Well, not us, but the person I'm making this video for, that we have invested in the deal so far. So it's a sell to open, meaning that you own the shares, right? Because we own the shares. So we're going to do a sell to open. If you guys wanted to close this, right? If you do open this, you want to close it, you would do a sell to close. Or sorry, buy to close, not sell to close, buy to close. This is the amount of premium it's paying right now. I just did that live for you guys on 7/25. That's July 25th. It's roughly 6 weeks. $15.50 would be the strike price, which means that in this is the option contract, okay? This is your strike of $15.50. So someone who is buying the call at $15.50 is paying the $1.96. Okay, they get everything up here. You sell at here. So you need to make sure your cost basis, which ours is, not cost basis, is down here, which it is. It's at $12.65. Great. This is your premium that you are collecting, which in this case, because we have 14 contracts, is $27.44. So we get this up front. This person, or a multitude of people, are paying this in hopes that it's going to go above this. If it does, if it doesn't, it doesn't matter. We are making the spread between this and this plus this. All right, so $15.50 is our strike. If it goes above this, the shares get called away. Whoever bought the call option can do whatever they want with it. We don't care. We sold it for this, $21,700. Our cost basis is $12.65, valued at that. However, remember, we're selling contracts of 100. So 45 shares, we're still going to have this. If this gets exercised, we're still going to have 45 shares. So we have to account for that and minus that off of this. $12.65, 45 shares, it's 561. So our actual cost basis in this covered call is this, 17,718, which gives us a profit of $3,982 in 6 weeks, okay? Assuming it gets called away. If it doesn't get called away, totally different story, because then we get to redo all of this all over, going to make more premium. But assuming it gets called away, and it wouldn't be terrible if it happened, $39.82 plus the premium. And remember, the premium we got paid to take this was this, $27.44. So we're going to do $39.82 is what we profit, right? That's the difference between what we have into it. Sorry, because our new what we have into it is that number. But this is our cost basis. That's what we sold it for. We capture that. This is our premium. This is our total profit from taking this trade. Plus, we still have the 44 extra shares to do whatever. Say it runs up, right, and it goes up to 16 or whatever. You know, we could sell off the 44 extra shares. It doesn't matter. Whatever you guys want to do with it, or if you want to round it up to a whole number, make it 100. Take some of this and make it 100, so you can do it again. Whatever you want to do, doesn't matter. So this is what she could theoretically make right now by selling a, right, sell to open call, right? It's a covered call. Covered meaning that you have the shares. You're not borrowing, you have the shares, okay? And the shares will get taken away if this gets exercised, okay? What's more important, right, is, so you take this number and you divide it by this number, ends up being a 39% return on investment in 6 weeks. If you want to multiply that, say, by, because theoretically you could do this 8 times a year. Sorry, it's actually a 38%. It's like 37.9. So we'll say 38. It's roughly 304%. If you were to just literally just keep this on a loop. Where is her initial investment? This. So this is going to grow roughly 304%. So I don't know what that number is, like 52,000 or something. That would be your ending balance. Actually, I'm curious to know what that is. Top of my head, that was pretty good. So your ending balance would be like 53,865 approximately. If you were actually able to duplicate these exact numbers time and time and time again. Oh, and a little cherry on top, I suppose, is TSLL. If you guys are going to hold this, pays out a small quarterly dividend. It's quarterly, 4 times a year on top of that. So if you guys are going to continue to run this strategy, just know that it does pay out a little bit of a dividend. But this is it. This is the covered call on TSLL. Okay. Now, again, if you're going to run it in a Roth IRA, which you could easily do, it would be tax-free. Dividends equal premiums. That's the same exact thing. Just depends on if you are an LLC or if you're an individual. Okay, if you are an LLC, say like Round Hill is a trust in the Cayman Islands. There's like 3,000 companies in the Cayman Islands registered as a trust, and they all do this because the Cayman Islands is a tax-free corporation. Country that you can get, they don't tax corporations, so it becomes return of capital. You could do this, and this would all be tax-free, or you could just do it in your Roth and become tax-free. Doesn't really matter. Whatever you guys want to do, let me know in the comments. And if you guys could like and subscribe, that'd be great. And if you guys want to do the wheel, right? So say this get called away and you want to start again. You would look to open the cash secured put. So this is the wheel, right? You start with a cash secured put. You get assigned the 100 shares. Okay. And then you do the then you run the covered call. You take profit. And you do it again. Open up another cash secured put. So essentially you're just recycling the money. The interesting part is, right, you're getting paid premiums here, and you're getting paid premiums here. Each time you get paid premiums, you're technically averaging down, right? So if you take this at 12, but you collect, say, $2 from here if we're doing the cash secured put, and you do $2 from here from getting the cash secured put, your -4, your cost basis is 8. So anything above 8, when you sell out, technically would be profit. And that's it.